How many hours have you spent Googling acne solutions, watching skincare TikToks, asking for product recommendations in Facebook groups? If you've been stuck in the never ending loop of searching, trying, failing, and repeating, this episode is for you. Because I see it all the time, people desperate for clear skin, spending years jumping from one DIY solution to the next, never actually committing to one plan, one expert, or one real solution. And the truth, it's not because they don't want clear skin. It's because they're actually afraid to invest in the right help. I'm Abiana, licensed esthetician and skin coach, and today we're talking about why free skincare advice may be keeping you stuck and what you need to do to actually move forward. So I want us to be real. The internet is overflowing with skincare advice. Reddit threads, YouTube videos, Facebook groups, podcasts, Everywhere you look, someone is recommending a product, a routine, or a miracle fix. And I get it. We love free. Free feels easy. Free feels accessible, But here's what no one is telling you about the free advice. And the problem that I see with it. The first is that it's generic. It's not made for your skin, your triggers, or your acne type. And it can be contradictory. One person says cut out dairy. Another says dairy is fine. It's also random. Oftentimes you're piecing together solutions from people who you don't know and who don't know you. And they're telling you that this worked for them and presenting it as though that will work for you too. And that's not always true. And I'll also say it's never ending. You keep searching because you never actually commit to one solution. And you might be saying estheticians like me online are giving advice and what have you. And yes, we are. We're giving it from a professional experience. But even for us, you will notice that the advice that we're sharing with you is only so far because we too need to know your skin history. We need to know more about you. We need to really be able to dig into your life, your lifestyle, your diet, where you live, the environmental factors that can be affecting your body from the inside out to really help you get to clear skin. So I will say that's the difference if you're someone who is saying, well, y'all are online doing this, but we're doing it from a different standpoint because I don't know anyone who invests in someone blindly without you knowing information about them, how they can help them. So I do want to draw that line. Gosh, that felt very taking a stance for the estheticians. But I take the same stance for clients too. You'll find that I like to be fair. So with that, I'll say you're doing the skincare equivalent of throwing darts blindfolded, hoping one sticks when you take the approach of going every which way, asking everyone, taking the free advice. And this is a cycle, again, that I see all the time, especially in online acne communities, very prevalent in Facebook. And in one of our previous episodes, I kind of talked about how my heart breaks for those acne sufferers because I once was her. The Facebook groups weren't as prevalent then, but I definitely was deep in Google on all the pages looking for my answers, seeing the threads, seeing what others said that they did. And knowledge, at least about melanin skin and acne, wasn't as prevalent then as it is today. So it was even harder. And I was trying things that were putting my Fitzpatrick is what we call it in the esthetician world, but my skin tone or skin range at risk. So there's that piece of info. If you're wondering, well, what did she do? Didn't she do the same thing? And did. That is my response. But for those online who I see, again, in Facebook where it's very prevalent, I see people bounce from group to group, one group to the next, asking the same questions, getting 20 different answers, walking away more confused than before, or walking away willing to try them all, which I think is wild, and it's heartbreaking because I know how badly they want clear skin, but they're treating acne like a guessing game instead of a science-backed process. And so the real cost of DIYing your skin is actually costing you, because while free advice might feel like the affordable option, in reality, it's the most expensive mistake that you can make because you're wasting money on the wrong products. If you sat down now and tallied up how much you've spent on products over the years, it's well over $1,500, I'm sure. Like, well over. And I will say that the beauty industry thrives on this cycle. They're convincing you that the next serum, the next trend, the next viral product will be the one that finally clears your skin. They're banking on you and you've come through for them. But when you're buying based on random recommendations instead of a real plan, you throw your money away. And so they're expecting you to come back because they know that you were sold on the marketing of this product. You invested, you weren't sure of your skin type, you followed the recommendation of someone else, you used too much, so you can't return it. So you're going to come back and you're going to buy the next thing that's marketed to you and said to do this and said to accomplish that. That may not be for you either. The second thing I'll say is a cost to you is that you're wasting time that you can't get back. And so if you've started struggling with acne 5 years ago and you're still searching for answers today, what does that tell you? That's 5 years you lost when you could have been clear in 6 months to a year. I would also encourage you to ask yourself the question, how much of my life have I spent frustrated with my skin, avoiding photos, hiding behind makeup, feeling insecure? I would ask myself that question. And every day you spend stuck in the cycle is a day you could be closer to clear skin. So number 3, I'd say the thing that's costing you is the skin damage from bad advice. DIY treatments can leave your skin worse than before. They often leave your skin stripped, irritated, and more prone to breakouts. And the one piece of advice that I really dislike that cost you is, you all know, but I'm going to ask, ever use toothpaste on a zit, as they say, or on a breakout? Yeah. Ever slather your face in coconut oil? Ever used an over-the-counter treatment so strong it left your skin peeling? I'm sure you said yes to all of those if you've been an acne sufferer, because in your desperation, you are willing to try it. And I think those could be farther from the truth of what you should be doing. You know, free advice like that is leading you to overuse, misuse, or straight up harmful skincare practices that are not leading you to a clear state. So if free advice is keeping you stuck, what actually works, what should you be doing instead, are questions you should be asking yourself. And guess what? We're going to talk about it. I like to tell my clients that there are 3 ways that they can break free and actually get clear. And the first is to stop chasing random advice. I encourage unfollowing the Facebook groups, unsubscribing from the plethora of skincare influencers who are giving conflicting advice. And I encourage them to stop bouncing between skincare trends and stick to something that is science-backed and professional grade. Those are the solutions that are going to work best. I've tried over-the-counter solutions for myself to be able to advise clients earlier in my career when we were in a brick and mortar location, and I just found that their ability to get the results that they were looking for, it was not there. They were never going to get the results that they so desired. They might get to a place, a small place, but they weren't going to see the leaps and bounds in their skin that they were seeking. And I really wish people paused to think about that, because as a Fortune 500 company, the quality of products is a mandate, right? But the strength of them is subjective, and it has to be subjective, or else they are in a position to be liable for you damaging your skin. And so that is the reason why licensed estheticians exist, in addition to the other professions that require licensing. Because if these professional grade products, heavily science backed, were available to you over the counter, you would likely use them incorrectly, because you're already using things incorrectly that are not formulated at the same strengths, and you would be a liability to them. And so I know oftentimes there is this mindset that I want over the counter, I want something lesser price, or I want something free. But those formulas aren't formulated to get you the results that you so desire. And in order to achieve those results, you need a formulation that is going to be stronger, that is going to contain the molecular composition that can actually enter the pore and address what needs to be addressed. I just used a big word right there. I like to use layman terms, but there you have it. So I want you to stop bouncing between the skincare trends and the over-the-counter products. And I really want you to stick to something science-backed and professional grade. The second way that you can break free and actually get to clear is to find one expert and commit to their guidance. You don't need 100 different voices telling you what to do. You need one qualified expert with real experience treating acne. And I would say you certainly want to choose someone with proven results, not just someone selling a product. And so on that topic, I'll expound a little bit further because there are some dope estheticians out here with absolutely insane results. And I've had clients say, oh, well, when I talked to this esthetician, they said that they would do this. And I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that path, right? That may be the path they're most familiar with or they see the most success with. And stick to one person, even amongst the esthetician community. I don't like to do the bouncing between estheticians because you can be working with an esthetician who is fire, is going to get you fire results. And her or his approach may be different than mine, or my approach may be different than theirs. But they know what they're talking about. And that is why you're investing in an expert. Therefore, trust them. Go with them. I think it's okay if you want a second opinion. We do that in the medical world. You know, I go to my doctor. I'm not sure about the advice I'm given. I may go ask for a second opinion. I think that's okay. But what I don't think is okay is bouncing between two different licensed estheticians because you're trying to do the matching game. I don't think it's fair to you. I don't think it's fair to the esthetician. And it's certainly not fair to your skin because we're trying to get you to clear. Okay. The third thing I tell my clients too is to get a plan. And not just any plan, but a plan that's made for you. Acne isn't one size fits all. Your skin needs a plan that considers your skin history, your triggers, and any other unique needs that are uncovered in your skin consultation. And so I will tell you, as I've said before, I think in my previous episodes, that if you're serious about clearing your skin, you need more than advice. You need more than the piecemeal. You need more than Google. You need a roadmap. You need one expert. You need one solution. You need a licensed esthetician on your team. So if you've been stuck in this loop of free skincare advice, today is the day that you break the cycle, my friend. Stop guessing, stop bouncing from product to product, stop wasting time, and make this the day that you commit to a real customized plan that actually works. And if you're ready for that, I'm here to help. You can book a skin consult with me, chat. I will leave the link below in the description. And we can figure out exactly what's causing your breakouts and how to clear them for good. And hey, if this episode has been a blessing to you, I ask that you share it with a friend. I ask that you leave a review if you are listening in your earbuds on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment and share with me what your biggest takeaway was and the value that you received from this episode. I think it's going to be beneficial because it will help more people find real acne solutions, and I can be one of them. So until next time, commit to your skin, trust the process, and let's get you clear and correct.